Hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about how to get your EIN for your revocable living trust. So why wouldn't you use your Social Security number? Well, the Social Security number is tied to your personal identity, your straw man, your blue card person, and it's not business related. So if you use it for businesses when you fill out your Macy's card and you exposed it there, that's paper that goes in somewhere. Your number is exposed all the time, and it could be stolen. Someone can steal your identity with that, and we want to minimize that. Did you know that you're only allowed to submit your Social Security number to government agencies, and only some government agencies? So when Macy's asks you, or Sharper Image, remember that? Yeah. When they ask you to join their credit card, they put the number there. You don't have to fill it out. It's not illegal to ask for it, but you shouldn't put it in. Now, this, of course, when you're mixing business with using your Social Security number person, you're blurring business and personal business, right? So government and creditors will see you as acting in your personal capacity, right? So they know how much they can sue. They know that there's not insurance protection, that kind of stuff. But what is an EIN? It's an employer identification number. It's like a business Social Security number. See, I put business there on the Social Security card. EIN. AI is so fun. It's issued by IRS for free, and we're going to do this in just a moment. And it is used to open bank accounts, file your business taxes, and apply for credit or financing with banks or whoever you want to. This helps separate personal business and business activities. And you will have a couple of different EINs throughout your life, and you might even get more, where you can be the trustee of different trusts and the sole proprietor and the business leader, and you can be filing 5 different EINs, letters from these different businesses that you have. So the benefits of using an EIN is that, of course, you will keep your Social Security number off the contract. You don't have to use it anymore. In fact, you can go to a W-2 job and just use your EIN number, your sole proprietor EIN number, for example, or your company EIN. And then there's many more tax benefits using that. Of course, it looks professional. It's cool. People love it. You're like, ooh, look at this guy. It's good for asset protection. Certain things are required for, when you have your assets, your business separated from your life, your real life, those assets are protected there, so they accidents or lawsuits cannot reach into your personal life to take your house, take your cars, or whatever you need. And then, of course, you can build credit, just like your Social Security person has a credit score. So too will your business, and you will build this business credit score up, so you can buy a car. And it's much easier to buy a car with a trust EIN, for example, than it is with a Social Security number. If you don't have good score, you could have a 420 for your personal business, your personal Social Security, and the business the trust can buy the car under its EIN, and you want your EIN, your Social Security credit score will not be affected. That's what I mean. So the key takeaways here are: use your Social Security for your own personal self, use an EIN business for doing business in a private, with that separation. So let's try to show you how easy it is to apply for a revocable living trust EIN. There are 2 pages that you can apply for. These were just changed this weekend, August 17th, I believe. They were just changed recently, and so now they have a second application. So here is this one. It's very simple, very easy URL, where the first page looks like this, and you're going to click Begin Application Now at the very bottom. You can also just Google IRS Apply EIN online, and you should probably find one of these 2 pages, because the second page looks like this. This is the old page. It has a much longer URL, and at the bottom it says Apply for an EIN. So let's click it. There are 6 steps in this. There's the legal structure, the identity, addresses, additional details, review and submit, and then the EIN assignment at the very end. Let's walk through these steps. So first legal structure we're going to select is trust. Who would have thunk it? There were some guessers out there, I'm sure. Yeah, somebody's nodding. I see you. You're going to click trust, and then a new screen will open up on the bottom, and a little slide out, so to speak. And we're going to click revocable trust, but don't tell anybody. I know some people want more classes, but there's an irrevocable trust, and all the pages are basically the same. But they'll come later. So we're going to click revocable trust and click continue. And here we're going to need the identity of the person. It says sole proprietor here. We're going to need the identity of the person that's applying, which is your social security number, your name, first name, last name. And then it's going to ask you to tell you about the trustee. Who is the trustee for this trust? Again, first name, last name. If it's the same person, it works. If it's somebody else that's doing it, if you're being the trustee for your spouse's trust, you would put your name in here. And then at the very bottom it says, who are you? What is your role in all of this? And you would choose, I'm the grantor, the trustee, or a beneficiary that has a material interest, meaning you have a good reason to be handling this. So we're going to select the I'm grantor and then click continue. Then it is going to ask you for your mailing address for the revocable living trust. You would put in street and city and state, your zip code, and then the country. Now this address does allow PO boxes and international mailing address, but PO boxes are good. So if you following the CYC process, one of the steps is you should probably get a PO box to keep businesses separate. The second part of this menu here of the what you have to fill out is the phone number, and then if you have a US address that's different from above. So you might have let's say there's a different kind of trust that you're applying for an EIN, that you might have let's see, a different address here, but you want to have it go to a different PO box, for example, or a different address. You would fill this out here. Oh, you would click yes, and then it would ask you for that address. There you go, sorry. So now you would fill out the name of your revocable living trust. You cannot include, we're under additional details, you cannot include Corp, LLC, Inc., Corp, and that kind of stuff, right? You're only allowed to put your legal name in there. You should know this name before you start this process. Hopefully you started the name, the trust documentation, and you would know what your name is. Usually what we recommend is the initials of your name and then revocable living trust. You would write the whole thing out, and the IRS will crunch all that down to a much smaller version of that name. So mine was first name, last name, revocable living trust, and it created revoke live trust. So it became much shorter. Here is where you would have put where the county is. For me, it would be Montgomery County in Texas, but this is where the county is important for where your trust is. If you're registering your revocable living trust in a county with a county official, this is the county that you would put here. And then you have the date the trust was funded. You put the month and the year. You can go back at most 25 years. And then it will ask you this question. We had a similar question in sole proprietorship. Do you have or do you expect to have employees in the next 12 months? Probably not. But if you do expect it, you will select yes. But we're going to select no and click continue. And then there'll be, oh, let me see, there'll be here we go. After that, you should get the same thing as we got before. You're going to receive your letter digitally or receive it in letter by mail, which should take up to 4 weeks to deliver. The digital letter will be an Adobe Acrobat document, which I want you to download and email it to yourself. And it's both in the email of the sender and email of the receiver. So if you're sending it from yourself to yourself, from one email to another. I have a bunch of emails for newsletters, that kind of stuff. I created an email address just for my trust business, for example, and I keep that email there. So it's always visible somewhere digitally. You will never get another copy of this. So then it will ask you to review or submit. What did you fill out? Did this work? Your revocable trust, the name of your revocable living trust, the county that you're in, and the mailing address that you put in. And at the bottom, it will have the name of the grantor and the name of the trustee with the TTEE at the end. And then you click Submit EIN Request. And there you get, I don't have a screenshot of this. You should take a screenshot, write down this number, copy that PDF file, print it, screenshot anything you can. Take a photo with your phone because you won't get this number again. Okay. Now, if you have, this is available, we're going to have in our classroom, you will see little files there, document files that you can follow this along. If you have any issues, if you have any questions, if you're not sure how to do this, if you're afraid that the Black Hawk helicopters will hover over, you can, for a nominal fee, Gwendolyn or someone will have a weekly workshop to help you walk you through these steps. And that's all I have for today. Thank you.